Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of iRacing, and here is Mazda MX-5 Cup Week 13 special. 4 races in store for us today, and race number 1 is at Charlotte Motor Speedway, as we all have begun our race, and number 20, who is the yellow car, had a good start, moved up I think 2 places, and now I had a good start myself a little bit, and Indian already happily taken out multiple cars, causing clashes. I had made my own contact with the wall. I didn't do with anyone, I just bumped into the wall to basically try to avoid any possibility of getting involved into the accident in case they bounce back, you know what I mean? But things still happening behind us, ran from behind, everything was going off in this race, which was basically what was happening in this race. But we're now entering into the area that I kind of struggled a little bit with, and we got ourselves a good exit with number 30, had a horrific exit. It was when so wide we taken inside line and got ourselves up. This is true, but the reason why that corner was just done with my annoying corner is because I still can't quite pinpoint the breaking point for myself. But as I do it, I get more confident. That's all that really matters. And right car number 13 lot 2 places, which is unfortunate. But if you kind of go side by side here, anything can happen, which you can see more incident is going on, and the one that going around had made a contact with the car that was coming up to the corner. This is what this race is all about. Contact everywhere. I can't understand why that's happening, and we're now watching on board with I think it's number 14 in the purple is leading the race, and I am in fourth, which is good. As long as I keep myself out of any trouble, we'll be able to stick it into P4, and we can see the car on the right side had the sliding in number 10. Didn't help him because the number 6 have followed the line, tried to get there, but now they're going side by side. It can be very risky in a track like this bit, because if you go too wide, you're going off to the lash, and you will definitely be spinning out, or you will have a cause of collision, which thankfully didn't happen, as they kept it respected. And I and the car in front all the way all the up, we all going like this, or in single file, but didn't last long because I made my own mistake, which you haven't seen. But now, the number 14 got some competition going on, but that competition didn't last long, so the car behind took too much curb that slowed them right up, which allowed the car behind to go on a hard road. But if you're doing a hard road, it tends to take longer to get on road, but it's not too hard. Inside line is much more effective, so that's why Steve didn't overtake, because he has no pace to be able to make it work. And while I still appeal for the mistake I made with mostly going off the track, because I missed my breaking point sometimes, which is basically very common anyway with me, so I'm fine with it as long as I keep it clean. I don't deal into the point which is good. But going forward, we can see a lot of things going down. The number 8 has, unfortunately, number 6 has gone off. It's made a contact with number 10, but that number 10 continued on, and that gives me an opportunity to start chasing down for the third, which is good. I've got 2 cars in front. It's actually a back marker, and they're not moving, and we can see it's torpedo, they just sent it. I don't know why that car decided to do that, and unfortunately it gets worse because that number 9, I think, turned in and taken out third place. For what reason? Have a look at the replay, and on my point of view, this is what it looks like. Have a look. He turned in onto the car that's on the left. He was undertaking, yeah, but he did it on purpose. to basically avoid any possibility of getting contact. But I don't know why that back motor turned it on him. He had no reason to do that. I felt bad, but he's too far back. I've been willing to give the place back, if I'll be honest with you. It's Christmas time. I'm in that Christmas spirit of tour, but unfortunately he was too far back, and we now got the swap of the leader, the number 10. But to be fair, that number 10 was a little bit controversial because that when about 2 laps ago he made that contact in the having brake window, that area. He was a bit controversial, but then just before the final lap, we had gone off and nearly smashed into the wall, and I was not happy. I had to get going, and I forgot to mention, we have got damage on our car, by the way. On our left side, is it left side? I think it's the left side, made a contact with a wall, and it was very bad, and we have lost some pain. So I had to try to keep it together, and I'm currently in shit with two inches on point. Fine, I did. And now we can see the number 6, who's of course was supposed to be in 3rd, but he got taken out. That back motor took him out. That car is now coming back. I think just made a move up into P4. And honestly, I don't even know who is who, because this day we had so much back motor. Not a lot of people tend to know how to drive on the track. Most of them make mistakes like what happened in turn 1 and lap 1. That sort of thing was still ongoing. Sometimes, not all the time, not every single lap, but it was ongoing issue. The same as this call as we're coming up to it now, side by side. It's a double clean, and I'm telling you now, if you go side by side, you need to be able to keep it fair and respect it, which a lot of people manage to do, and made the contact with the wall again. That was our second contact, by the way. That's a small one, took a bit of a time. Now a much bigger one. Just not good, and the leader, number 10, had just won the race with number 14 second, and this number 6, I don't really know what plate he is right now, because everything is shuffled around, and I had managed to take my car back home for the 6th plate. It's just shut, but it's not bad. 0.08, very close to Clad D. But now we're heading over to Ottenamar International Circuit race number 2. This race is a short type circuit, not a long type. It's a short type, so it's a quick roundabout. Here we go, basically. As you can see, we got 2 cars, maybe 3 cars, had a slow start, didn't even jump off at all, and I got myself off, and already, just before the turn 1, incident had happened already, and I had now tired of Josh, the editing, trying to basically be cautious as much as I can, and we got one car in number 90 had gone off the track. It was side by side, but gone off, and I don't know if it's been forced off. It looks like he might have, but I don't know. You be the one to judge that, not me. But I've talked with me now in P9, which is good. So far, we didn't really get involved in any incident, and I'm happy with that. But now going to lap 2, catching up with the car in front of us, we got incident happening behind us. The thing was happening is calamity everywhere. It was just pure chaos. But with me, unfortunately, had taught myself to live overseer, basically, and I had to wait in the middle of a track. If you move forward or backward, you gotta cause the crash. So it's better for me to just wait, get the car through, and I've waited extra to let that white car through. If I try to turn around, I might be slow to get going. I don't want anyone to hit from behind, so I basically be a bigger person, just wait until everything is clear and get going. But that race didn't really last long, but in this way, calamity, chaos was still happening. But before that was happening, we unfortunately gone up for track. We passed off behind the car in front, which means I'm now up to P18, and that is not good as we enter into lap 3. We got 29 seconds to the leader. That's a long way back. And the third victim of my overtaking, in a way, number 90 has spanned the car now, which means I will overtake the number 19 with the same car that I let them do when I waited a little bit extra. Now moved up into P17, and now we need to start catching up. At this point, I was telling myself, Dan, let's make a big push into lap 4. We've got 2 cars that is gone off, and we moved up 2 places, which means it's P16, should be P15, but I don't know why it wasn't. And we've got 2 cars have made a contact, spun around, and almost caused more contact, but that number 4 didn't stop there as it took out the other car that is 2 down, which means I will overtake them both, and now move up to another 2 position, and that car had to suffer. Both of them had to suffer for me to get them, which I'm happy about, because that's another position for us to move up, you know. So now we move up into P15, which doesn't make sense, because our actually was supposed to be P14. So I don't know what was happening there, it might be wrong, but you can see in the position lap time, it's that P14, P15, 14, don't worry about it. We now starting catching up to 2 cars in front of us, that is side by side. As you can see, there's the option, and the option was B. Option B, they took out, the number 12 took out the car as they tried to shift to the inside. That was not gonna work. That was not gonna work. You're too close to them. That was not gonna work. But hey, 2 position moved up, which I'm happy about. And when I was watching everything was happening, I felt like, why did they even attempt? I was predicting that beforehand. I was like, they are gonna do that, aren't they? But another car had just gone off the track. Didn't last long as he just made small contact to the wall and got himself back on. But didn't happen, didn't stop there. Watch this. Still going on. Everything was still going on. 1 car is down, which is the black car, but that black car moved across the track, but thankfully I wasn't close, so I moved up 1 more place, which is P10. We moved up 4 places in just 1 lap, all because calamity, chaos was happening. But now we're going to lap 7. We are pretty much very likely to be able to catch the car ahead, because that car got damage on the rear and the front end, I believe. So chances are there for us to be able to catch, but again, it was not going to be easy. It was not going to be that easy, of course, as we're going to wash on board with that car there. Overseer number 9 and got 1 car down, but this is where the confusing made the contact was bad, but the confusing, look on the top, I've got inches on point, I've got an inches on point, 4 inches on point for contact. I have no idea where that came from. I know it's something to do with that car behind number 9, but how? Here's a replay. Watch what happened in slow motion. Have a look. Nothing. Have a look again. Nothing. Have a look again. Nothing. Have a look again. Nothing. And I got an injured on point. How? How? That didn't even make any sense, but unfortunately it doesn't matter, because we can't argue, we can't process the answer. But now, in the final lap, we're going to finish in P9, going from P18 up to P9. I'm happy, but I wish we didn't have that 4 inches on point. That should never happen, so I don't know what to think, honestly. I have no idea, and I mean, you guys can let me know in the comment if I did make contact or not. But these are 4 lot in synchronized, it was not good. But in the third line, not part, the track I for the third time began with this series. Let's see what we could do. We got off a pretty alright start. We already start making a point though, but that car on the left in number 3 had a bit of an iffy start. but I'm glad that we can move up places, which is good, and we got 3 more this way to join on behind. But I think all of that has been resolved anyway, but there's still a car going up and made a contact. 2 cars out of the way, well, still going, but they're out of the play, and I had to avoid that. But I was so happy the car behind me didn't make contact, but other lots of replays, see what happened. Made the contact based on a pit maneuver. That car number 3, he just missed me. If he made the contact with me, it was not my fault. I had to do what I can to basically avoid any chance of getting involved in a crash, which was obviously the main number 1, the priority for me. But we're now entering to the basically right hand of very fast, but you have to control it. Because I, for one, in practice section, when do that basically almost flat out, lip, and then throttle down over the hill. I've lost the control of the car, so now I have to think about lip over the hill, then throttle down, just go straight on. That is what I have to do pretty much constantly, and it was getting annoying because I felt like I was slow, but that was the only safe way. If you let me know in the comment how to take that corner, well, uphill, leaning without losing control, that'll be appreciated for sure. But I start a fight with number 3, and it actually was a pretty good fight. That car was very patient, and I was very patient, very careful. The car in number 3 was very careful. We were keeping ourselves a space, and that was really good. That is what race is all about. You are allowed to make small contact, but not on purpose, not intentional. But it was a good race that I had against number 3, but he actually didn't really control it. As you can see, he read a little bit. That's because he lost a bit of control, but I was slow going downhill because I got paranoid thinking I was gonna, overshoot and spin. That I went basically all the way up on the throttle, which allowed the number 3 leaning down on the outside line and overtake me, which I was not happy about. But again, the confidence I had in this race wasn't that good because I, for one, tried to put out the braking zone, and when you have the car that going to the corner that doesn't require a lot of braking, you have to figure out how do you take it by lifting, how much do you lift, how much do you need to put down the throttle after you lift. That sort of thing was going through my head. But the car behind, in number 14, I don't know what number that was, but the car in purple has spun out, been taken out. It's been taken out. Everyone was taking people out for no reason, swear down, but we're still chasing off. But the number, the car behind, I can't even say the name, to be honest. I apologise, I won't be able to say your name. We're starting catching up, but in lot, it's gone, disappear, one on one. He made a mistake, but we can see the car in front of us was getting closer and closer. We've got back marker, that kind of disrupted your racing line. We had to adjust that, change a little bit. But here's a replay of what happened to the car behind number 18. This is what happened. Look at that. He got on the curb and he had a wobble and then tried to get back on, but I think he was doing this to try to counter steer, but he went too much for it and took that into the wall. But not very good. It's unfortunate, that's what I was saying, very unfortunate. But as we now starting still trying to catch up, but we have slightly run off how I would normally take my line, and we have to try to be careful with that one. But this is now where it gets worse. That number 10 took out number 16. Took him out, he took the inside line, but he took the curb, he did control the car, and he's wiped out the number 16. That was the one thing he's gonna tell for is that car didn't last long right here, but it was. He not, different up, he still carried on, where it's just very controversial. As we continue on, chasing down number 3, I tried my best to basically try to find the gap. Try to, I don't know, fourth mistake on the number 3, but that number 3 was immune to it, and I was getting annoyed. I was trying my harder, but thankfully, where we are at the 3rd place with the stir, but that didn't last long. That number 10 took the opportunity to overtake me, and I went up a little bit, and that number 10, I don't know why, but he taken the curb so hard, and I had to slow down a little bit in case if he made the contact with me, which I would not be happy about for sure. But that of course compromised a little bit for him, and I decided to get more confident with my throttle as I gone down the hill quite nice, which allowed me to get side by side into turn 1. But I went a little bit deep as I gone up the track. But thank you so much about Martin avoid me. Thank you so much. I don't think I'll be able to hit into him anyway. But in case, just in case he avoided it, I was like, thank God for that. But unfortunately, I lost the position since I missed the brakes and go back in turn 1. And now, the number 10 is chasing after number 3. I can admit that number 10 is quick. I can admit that, but very dangerous driver, which I will of course explain why at the end of lap 8. That car in number 3, for whatever reason, cut the corner, cut the corner, rejoined back on track quite badly. That number 10 had to avoid it, which very unfortunate driver from number 3. They were not like that, but unfortunately went side by side, made the contact and took the number 3 out. I had gone to take second place, but it didn't stop there. Have a look. The number 10 crashed into another car, but that was not what controversial. What happened before that with number 3, that number 10 was very bad, but here's the replay. You can see he was pushing in, but look at that. But on the different POV, it was not even a jump. On my, it was a jump. It was some weird thing going on there, because he was forcing him, and it was made small contact on the highlight POV, but on my POV, it looks like forcing him and lost it off him. It's just crazy, but at least we finished second place with 5 incident points, and that's about 0.01 rated, safety rated, but can't play the final race of episode all on part race way. I do not like the track. I do not like the track because I just can't deal with it. I think it's mostly because the practice section I had wasn't that good. And whenever I enter to the corner, but everything feels like it's overshooting. But as the race goes on now, we decided to try to play it safe, but we took the opportunity to try to overtake it, but we slowed that. That car in front had made the contact, and you can guess the race, you can guess what happened. Look at that, 5, maybe 6 cars had got caught up. Neither was in front had made a shot for with the car that is behind, neither behind, and I managed to avoid it, which is really good. I'm happy about that. But why? Why did that happen? I mean, why can't anyone actually take the racing line or take it with precaution like I'm doing? But again, sometimes being caution and not being caution, even them cause the track. But look at that, force him up. But I carry on watching. The number 2 decided to really force the car up the track. It's just like, this is what it is. This is what we all deal with in this life. It's just pure chaos with very stubborn or very bad driver. I get the right word to say. It was just like that everywhere in lap 1, but we continue on go and move up places because of all of that. So it was my benefit that worked out. But as you can guess, my benefit didn't quite work out for a long time, because you'll see what happened coming up very soon as we enter into lap 2. We enter into turn 1. This is the part of the track that I struggle a little bit, because we can take it flat out, but you're gonna go up, you can live, but you might go slow. You need to brake as well. You need to think about these things happening into turn 1, going towards the turn 2. But of course, what I've always done is live in turn 1. As I enter towards the cone, as I enter the first cone, I brake hard. That's what I do. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. You can let me know in the comment if that is the best way to do it. but we got car, number 14 chasing after, which is the leader. Number 14 is Sutton, then the top in third, I think, and that number 4 is in fourth, I think, and I had made the move. I actually perfectly backed out, thinking that time to the turning, but it didn't. I was like, perfect. Off I go through to move up a place now into P4, which is good, and I'm very happy about that. But the problem is, my lap time, average lap time, is 1 minute 19 seconds. But you can see the leader doing 1 minute 16. Absolutely rapid, but have a look how I take the tour, like, live, brake, and then gear 1 into turn 2. I mean, is that the best way to do it? I don't know, we will show you the bird eye view very soon, but we got the back market, the tour, allowing it up slow, and I mean, this race purely got the most of the back market anyway, but now in lap 4, this is the bird eye view. You see how I take it? I live, got on the curb, brake. Is that good? I don't know if that's the best way to approach to the tour. Like, you can let me know in the comment if you think that's the good way to do it or not. You should also give me your tip if you want to, which I've always said, tip is always massively appreciated on the channel all the time. But we're chasing down the number 17. I think we unfortunately made a mistake. It was not helpful because the car behind, the two tires, not the white one, the one before, and the pin tire. So 14 and the pin tire, these two are the ones that chasing off at me, and I was getting a little bit nervy because, not because I was driving really badly, because I just knew this is a track that I'm going to struggle, and I can't be struggling too much, because I'm going to try to get into the basic safety rating. 3.0 so I can get the class D, that's what I want. But forcing on the final corner, smash into the wall, and at the content I've got a broken wheel. So the steering wheel is now off because my tyre is a little bit dent, and that is not helpful. I've been lost 3 places, but really I've lost 1 place actually. But I think I lost 2 places. To be fair, because the back market, I don't know who is who, so we have to try and get the plate back, which I have now put myself alongside with the car that on the right basically were allowing me some space, but I was being brave, tried to force my way through, which worked out, which ended up making a 3-1, but that pin tire had found a gap to send it through on the inside, but I was not going to give up at the going side by side over the bridge. We did try and get through on the pin tire, but didn't last long, unfortunately. I was just not really confident, and plus with the steering wheels being a little bit up and or we have to adapt to how we drive it. Think back to Le Mans, that happened all the time with Le Mans. We had that steering wheel up. I had the same problem basically, that's why it is, but in lap 6 we got a pretty good run on the pin tire on the inside line. It was like perfect. I'm gonna do something different with how I approach this tour. Like, try to basically go quicker. That almost gone up the track. I brake, but I braked in the dash. But somehow I controlled it. I was like, damn. But unfortunately, that compromised my pace, which allowed the pin tire. I need to find the number 16. Yeah, number 16. Basically, we'll be taking advantage of it as he's go on the inside line over the bridge once again. And I had to try to do something, but made a small contact with the number 16, but thank God didn't take him out. If I was not going to be happy with myself, I would be with myself if I took out that number 16, but unfortunately the car in front had gone through. And again, I have no clue where that car is. And to be fair, as I spent most of the day, I was thinking about the standing out, more thinking about where can I find my place. That's all I think about in this lane. But we far forward a little bit more into lap 7. We got that white car, which I now assume is in the big plane chasing off, but the number 16 to number 10, this is where it gets really bad. Have a look what happened. Man, again, doesn't make sense, but didn't last long. As you can see, I lost the control of the car, which was so embarrassing on the final lap. But approaching the final lap, we've lost so many places. Really, I've only lost, I think, 2 or 3 places, which sucks so much. But that number 6 that I felt bad, and that car who, took him out, had gone up for track. I think they said number 9, not number 10, sorry, number 9, isn't it? Had gone up for track. And I've said in the past about when a driver that takes you out on purpose or mistake and end up making their own mistake and losing plate of it, it's basically a waste of time for them to doing that to you in the first place. That's what get me anyway. If you do it, you better win the race. You better win the race. If you decide to take me out, you better win. Simple as it is. But that was not the case here. He got off a track which, well, he survived, basically. He survived, but, well, there you go. Well, it was the car behind, actually, not the car in front, the car behind, but Mr. Ford have to recover all the places they have lost, and unfortunately, in this basic final lap, we had quite a lot of people that was disappearing, which is just weird to see, but I feel like almost became a victim, but massive track on the final corner, and I had managed to go without any problem, but only lapped in P8 with 6 incident points. Which very disappointing, but if I'll be very honest, I said I don't like the track, but I still don't without doing some practice section. I might end up lying to them. I've only done 20-minute practice section and I've gone straight into the race. If I'd done more than that, I'll be much better, I think. But it doesn't matter. Up until we've done week 13 is over, and we now put ourselves back into 2.9. Just the track D is going to happen. Not yet. It'll happen in a couple of weeks' time, I think. Let's see what happens when we return back into week 1. But thanks for watching. Please like and dislike my video. Do my very appreciated, and peace out.